Welcome back, crew. We got a lot to cover in today's short little video. This is not the time to panic. It's not the time to freak out. It's the time to do some deep searching, looking for accumulation for yourself, for your assets, of course. Bitcoin tanked under 116,000. Ethereum is stalled and it's a little bit bleeding out. Altcoins totally wrecked. We got a few tiny tokens that are exploding up 270%, 49%, even 33% today. We're entering a full-blown correction, or is this just a setup for the next big alt season? And what's the SEC really cooking with this crypto project? What the heck? And also that guy, that skunk Jerome Powell, really set us into a tailspin. We're going to break it all down for you, so just hang tight. And again, as I said, it's not time to panic. It's time to actually do some deep searching, looking for assets that you can accumulate that are on the cheap right now. And remember, always get into our Telegram room. All right, so welcome back, Crypto Crew. It's your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in crypto and Bitcoin action. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure that you come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. All right, let's get right into it. All right, let's go on over to good old Justin's trade that he's got live happening right now. As you can see, not really concerned about it at all. We knew that we could get back into this CME market cap. Been calling it for a couple of days. If you've been watching me, I said I thought we should be doing this. Did the big boys pull the rug out like I thought they would? I think that they did. I think they said, you know what? Let's let them freak out. Let's drive this thing down, and let's, we'll be able to scoop a lot lower. 112 for 114, $2,000 a coin is wonderful if you could do it, and if you got the deep pockets for it, right? So obviously BlackRock, State Street, and good old Fidelity actually have tremendous pockets, right? So let's just talk about what this trade is happening right now. Bitcoin is currently trading right now at 114,130. All right. It's down like 3.2% in the past 24 hours. Now, we got a live stream coming up tomorrow. You're going to want to definitely get into that. I want to take you over to WeX, the broker of our choice, where you could see these trades. Low fees, fast execution. This is the broker of our choice. As you can see right now, he's long at 117. He's down 23.26%. We show you warts and all. Okay. This is, you got to get into the live stream tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so he can explain this. This is a long-term hold. It's part of a long-term hold, I would assume. I haven't talked to him directly about it. He's also in HBAR. It's down 63.2% after we had a run-up yesterday of 180%. If you would have gotten in on the trade, if you were a short-term trader, you could have definitely danced. You could have been dancing in a party and very, very close to the door. You could have made yourself some good money. But again, this is a long-term hold, and you got to get in the live stream to talk to him about it. All right, let's get over to our famous 2-hour Bitcoin chart right here, where we map it all out. Now, I've been talking about this. We have fallen out of the lower tine of the Andrews Pitchfork. I will do a readjustment today after the market close. I need a full day in. So right now, originally, we said that we had this spike down here. We needed to get hold above 117. And I didn't like that we spiked lower. Remember I said that? I said, I don't like that spike lower, for the simple reason that it could show a deeper retracement. Look at what happened when we came right up to this tine right here. Notice how it acted as a beautiful resistance. If you don't know Andrews Pitchfork, you should study a little bit of it. All right, it's not a very difficult tool at all. But, these levels do actually work pretty well for short-term trading. I kind of refer to them, somewhat often. I have my own method of doing it, but this is really a good little method for you to learn. If you want to learn more about it, leave a comment. Say, hey, guys, do like a little educational in the Telegram trading community on Andrews Pitchfork. Be happy to do it for you. Like I said, it's very simple. So, okay, where do we stand right now? Trading at 114,500 right now. Marketplace came down to 113,905. If we come on over and we look at the good old CME market gap, we can see that for all intents and purposes, we have basically filled it. Okay, we have basically filled it. We were talking about it. Now, today is the day. All right, today is the day where we have to look at our levels that we've been talking about. Can't close below 115.7. All right. So the day is still going. We still got many hours left to the day. So right now we did spike down. We got to see if we close below the 115.7. If we do, we're saying that we're drifting back down to the 110, 111, even potentially the 109 area, which I think is a good buy area. I'm not saying follow me, but I'm thinking I'm scooping some coin. If we could drop down, say 110, 111, I'd be definitely looking at that area to accumulate some coin. So what happened with this? Like what was the backdrop? Well, US tariff bombshell was spooking markets as usual. Jerome Powell not moving. That guy, definitely he's on my list for hate Christmas letters this year, okay? We had a US dollar surging above 100, primarily through US dollar yen. It rallied up to 150.90 before the retrace. Now dollar yen is trading at like 140. Let me look at my dollar yen right now. 148 the figure. 148.00, okay? So that came off hard after the data came out today where they talked about we missed non-farm payroll registered 73K below expectations of 110K. However, hourly wages were up. They beat expectations by 0.1. So, I mean, it's a little bit of mixed. I mean, of course, it's going to take a little while for the economy to register. It's really rocking, but really the U.S. economy is rocking, and it could afford a rate cut. That's for sure. So as it stands right now, if we come on over to our good old handy dandy chart here, the 2-hour chart, we could talk about really what happened. When we broke this time right here, over 700 million in long liquidations got wiped out. This was leveraged trades, okay? They got wiped out across the board. Now, we said again, the CME market gap, okay, that's basically filled. We can't close below 115.7 today. We talked about that. You know, we've been saying this all along, you know, can't close below 115.7. We'll see what happens today. Again, get in the Telegram trading community. It is free, and we're going to be talking about, you know, this whole scenario that's happening right now. Now, if we go a little bit longer, you know, where we talked about this Bitcoin breakout pattern, okay? Now, some analysts are calling for a pullback to 103K if this momentum of the selling continues. Now, we're sticking to our breakout pattern. We believe that this is going to be a bullish retest zone is happening. Hopefully, you know, we could get down to 112 to test our theory, okay? But right now, we're saying that the breakout is done. We broke out at the top. We're ready to go higher. But now comes the opportunity. A clean retest of 112,000, 111,000 and a half is where legends are going to accumulate, not where crowds, fear of missing out, are in at 130K. So the retail is basically asleep. All right, they'll get all excited when we get up to 130K. Again, we're not getting, you know, too far ahead of our skis, but we're thinking that the retest, 112, actually retail will freak out there, actually sell into the strong hands, and then we're going to see a Bitcoin re-rally get through the top of 123. Now, we said this before, I'm going to bring it up again. Bitcoin is showing the same fractal crash as 2017. Do not freak out. This is an inverted chart. Okay, we're not saying Bitcoin's crashing. We're saying that the fractal crashes are the same. We just inverted the chart to see where we could see accumulation and distribution happen, and it's right here in front of your face. All right, it's the same 5 phases, same curve, same structure. History says the final flush is next. So what we're saying here is finally the breakout is going to happen, and it's going to take us up to 181. Of course, we're going to have resistance at 130. And we'll deal with that when we get to it. But really, phase 5 is loading, so brace yourself. It's happening, all right? Now, of course, you can say, well, Tom, what the hell are you talking about? We're 114,009 right now. Yeah, it's normal trading. It's normal trading. You know, this is completely normal. We've always talked that Bitcoin could actually have a $35,000 delta. So maybe the analysts at 103, all right, we'll worry about that if we break through, or we'll be concerned with that if we break through actually this level on this chart right here of the 109. That would be, that would be saying, hey guys, you're off a little bit here, okay? But we're not seeing that right now yet, So we also have working for us in Bitcoin itself. We got the good old cup and handle formation. All right, the cup was full. Now the handle was broken. The retest has happened. Now we're looking for a moonshot next. So we got these technical patterns that are working for us. It's not time to panic. Okay, we haven't dropped that much in the course of, if you really look at where we are, we're nowhere near any type of panic zone. So you just got to keep your head on your shoulders and your feet on the floor. All right. So if I take you over to this chart, longer term, where we're looking at Bitcoin 2017 versus 2025. Okay. It's the same fake out, same breakout, but this scale is 27 times larger. 2025 is echoing 2017, but louder. All right. It's going to be faster and it's going to be stronger. All right. It's a super cycle that, we've been waiting for. It's happening. All right. Again, just don't panic over it. Let's make the chart a little bit better for you guys so you could actually see the spike rally that happened. And this is what we're looking for here. Now, we believe that the final act is loading. And what we mean by that is we got the cycles. Okay. How every Bitcoin cycle played out: 1 year reset, 3-year expansion. Now we're in the final 3-year expansion. The parabolic moves tend to come last. All right, so we're still consolidating. We haven't really moved away from the high that much yet. We're only about $7,000 off the high. It's no big deal in this coin. Remember, you got BlackRock, you got Fidelity, you got State Street. They're all loading up on this stuff. And they probably scoop some coin, I would think, around 114,003. I would think. If I was in their trading room, I'm sure they'd be screaming like, buy some coin, buy some coin. But really, parabolic moves tend to come last. Most won't hold through it. People get itchy, they get excited for profits, or they panic with slight losses. And as you can see, Justin's not moving. He didn't freak out. He's, again, get in the live stream tomorrow, 10 o'clock, ask some questions. But most won't hold through this, but legends will. And this is where, in 2 years or a year, be going, oh my God, I remember when it was 115, now it's up at 250. I can't believe this. I can't believe that I didn't hold on to something. So don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Let's move on over to Ethereum. Ethereum really right now, okay, when we look at Ethereum, it's holding around 3,630 right now. It's down 2.5 to 3%. It's holding slightly stronger than Bitcoin. Now, if we look at 2020 versus today, okay, Ethereum broke the 50 MA in 2020 and launched a 10x run. In 2025, it just did it again, but now with L2s and ETF flows and global liquidity behind it, don't get shaken out of this. The real move hasn't even started yet. Now, options data shows higher downside risk for Ethereum than Bitcoin as traders load up on puts. It's just a speculative play. When you're buying options, you're not buying the physical. So basically, you're taking a chance. It's basically saying, okay, you know what? Let me load up on some puts. And if we get a spike down in Ethereum, I'll just cash out of my puts. But really, it's not a long-term play for these guys. So you got to keep that in mind, all right? Now, still, Ethereum has strong fundamentals and remains a prime ETF inflow asset, especially with BlackRock, Fidelity. They're all stacking Ethereum in corporate treasuries. If you look, at Ethereum itself, and this is the launch pad that we showed you before, it's still in play. It passed every test, okay? Broke out, and it's ready to fly. Okay, we were talking about the tests down right here, the support line. We tested, we broke out. Okay, we're sitting right here right now, slightly off of the cat's whisker of 4,000. Again, we say 4,000 is the point to break. Then there's 4,500, okay, as a major resistance right now. That's what other analysts are saying. We're saying 4,000. If that breaks, there's no coming back. Really, this is what disbelief rallies are made of, okay? You just got to hang tight. We'll guide you through this. Get in the Telegram community, and we'll talk. And I'm going to show you an X post that we have up, and it's a pretty important little X post. That's why you got to follow us on X. Okay, right now Ethereum just printed 238 billion in on-chain monthly volume, highest since June 2024. No ETF, no hype, just raw usage. The price is sleeping, but on-chain is on fire. So these are some of the clues. On-chain is on fire, but the price is asleep right now. So really, don't sleep on Ethereum. You know, Ethereum is really going to be the one that ignites your portfolio, along with other altcoins that we're going to be choosing and helping you choose. Now, moving on to altcoins. Now we're looking at Bitcoin dominance a slightly different way, okay? Bitcoin dominance is mirroring the Wall Street cheat sheet step by step. We're halfway through the emotional spiral. Once dominance actually breaks down and collapses, altcoins are going to explode. The disbelief rally is coming. Be early or be exit. Liquidity is our... Oh, I got an alert going on over here. Okay, we got a 1 hour trend line crossing. Let me just get rid of that. All right, so right now, once dominance collapses, altcoins are going to explode. Now, the total crypto market cap is down to about 3.7 to 3.8 trillion. I want to take you over to this chart right here so we can actually zero in on this. Now, as I just said, the altcoin market cap is down to about 3.7, 3.8 trillion. Most of the top 100 tokens are in the red, but don't lose sight. We have an altcoin golden setup that's loading. We have 4 years of compression, 4 years, an ascending base, a flat ceiling. Once this breaks, and everyone fades it, you know, it's going to break really extremely hard upward, okay? Now, some small term, you know, small caps are bucking the trend, okay? I want to come on over to this chart. I want to show you this just to talk about this. Army of Fortune gem, AFG is up 270%. RPK is up 49%. CTA is up 33%. Moonray is up 26%. Now, analysts are watching Dogecoin closely, some forecasting a potential run to 60 cents by year end. Newcomers, RMTX is drawing attention as a potential 100x alt in the DeFi utility space. We are prepared to get you in on our Telegram group if risk sentiment remains the upcoming weeks. These are the areas that we're going to load up on. Now, 60,000 is ready to deploy. I've mapped out the dip zones, and now we're hunting value. Again, get in the Telegram trading community. We'll be discussing this. So you drop the altcoin that actually deserves it. Make sure, get in the Telegram trading community. It's free, and we're doing all the research for you, and we'll show you what we're buying, where we're buying. You know, we're looking to buy the dip at 3.6 trillion, and if it holds and actually continues lower, 3.2 trillion would be a sheer absolute gift. It would be a gift from the crypto trading community gods. All right, so right now, what's happening right now? Like what's powering this? What's holding us up? What's going on? Right now, again, we can't close below 115.7, all right, today. So make sure you look at the close today at the end of the day going into tomorrow morning, all right? We want to know exactly where it closed. The U.S. SEC just launched Project Crypto under Chair Paul Atkins. Name sound familiar? It's a pro-innovation shift with support for ICO, airdrops, and DeFi integration into U.S. markets. This could be huge for Ethereum and DeFi tokens, especially as regulation clarity returns. So right now we got Bitcoin, 115.5 right now, down like 3% on the day. Key drivers behind it were tariffs, the U.S. dollar strength against the yen, which has diminished. The dollar yen is down again at, what is good old dollar yen? I did call that, by the way. 147, 148 the figure. Still hanging out at 148 the figure. Ethereum, ETF demand, downside risk with the puts. They're trying to put pressure on it, but it is resilient. Now, altcoins are mixed. Some collapsing, some mooning. Meme fire, meme coin fire. There's alt season setup and micro caps popping. All right, before we wrap up today, again, like I said, don't panic. This is nothing to panic about. This is actually a gift in some certain sectors. So make sure you come on over and you join our free trading community. You click this link. You asked for it. We gave you a Telegram trading community. You'll be taken over to this Telegram group where you can join up, again, completely free, where we drop insane alpha. We'll tell you we're going to be deploying our 60,000 in assets ready to deploy. If you want to follow us on our broker of choice, you come on over, you click this link, you'll be taken over to WeX, the broker of our choice. Low fees, fast execution. In my best Mo Green voice. All right, let's come on over. Now, what do you got to do? Well, for sure, you got to follow us on X, where we talk about crypto and Bitcoin all day, every day. So what do you got to do? You got to join the Telegram trading community. It's free. You got to get in tomorrow's live stream, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Justin will navigate you through his trades in HBAR, and also I think he's got something brewing in Ethereum, so you got to get in on that as well. And of course, he's got the Bitcoin running, and he'll tell you all about that right now. So don't sleep on this market. We could potentially dip a little bit further, or we could rip a lot higher. This volatility is loaded with opportunity, but you got to do your own research. Okay, you got to trade with your head and not over it. Now, drop your thoughts in the comment. Is Bitcoin headed to 109, or will alt season catch fire first? Leave some comments for us. Tell us what you're following. And remember, always, always, always trade with your head and not over it. And as a short-term trader, enjoy the party, but dance near the door. I'll see you in tomorrow morning's update. Stay sharp. Stack smart. Peace out.